I just hit 1,000 subscribers, and I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who subscribed. And to celebrate, I made a revamped Brookhaven game, and I'm going to teach you guys how to do the same. I remade the cafe, the car dealership, the supermarket, and even added a brand new house agency, as well as making a brand new map. So the first thing we're going to do is do the data. So we're going to add a script into script service. And so first we're going to do the variables. First we're going to do the local data store service. Get service, data store service. Then this is going to be the main data, which is going to be, and then the local. So the main data is going to have the money pretty much, and then a bit later I might do a level system as well. Car data. And in another video we'll do the house data, but for now we'll just do, so that should be data store, just car data, pretty simple. And then the functions that we're going to do for the car, so function save car data local cars equals player dot cars value dot name equals value dot value. Car data set async player dot user ID cars. And do the main program, which is going to be game dot players dot player added connect function player, then local leader stats, which equals to instance.new folder leader stats dot name equals leader stats dot parent equals player. And then we're going to do local money equals instance.new number value, then money dot name equals money, then money dot value equals 0, so you're going to start with 0 cash, but obviously that you can change that if you want. And then money dot parent equals leader stats, and then local cars equals instance.new folder, then cars dot name equals cars, and then cars dot parent equals player. And for I, car in pairs game dot replicate storage dot cars, and we will add that in just a second. And sometimes you'll spell this wrong because obviously it's not automatic, so maybe we will just add in a folder and it's just going to be called cars. So if you want to redo this line, dot, and then like that, just to make sure it's spelled correctly. And then local new value equals to instance.new bool value, then new value dot name equals car dot name, then new value dot value equals false, new value dot parent equals cars. Then under here, local car, which is like a little c, or whatever you want to call that, but car data equals car data, the actual, the one with the capital C. Then we're going to get async player dot user ID, or the fancy brackets. And then for for car name, car value in pairs, car data with the small c, and then do cars car name dot value equals car value. And then under here, we're going to do local player user ID equals player dot player dot user ID. Then we're going to load the data. You don't have to have that, but you can if you want. Then local main data, local success, error, message equals pickle function, main data equals main data, get async, player user ID, and end there. And then if it's a success, then if it's the main data, then money dot value equals main data dot money. And then under here, we're going to do game dot players dot player removing connect to function player, then local player user ID again equals player dot user ID, then local main data equals money equals player dot lead stats dot money dot value, and then a semicolon. And then obviously if you have anything else, so like let's say I'll probably add this in the future, VIP then equals player, but obviously we don't have VIP yet. And then again add a semicolon at the end. But for now, if you want to follow it like precisely, you will have a game with all this stuff. I'm going to do the same. This is only part 1. Okay, so local success. So if success, then it was local success. So local success. That's the line under it. Error message equals pickle function. And then main data with a capital M, set async, player user ID, then the main data. Now here, if success, then print data success fully saved. And else, we're just going to print there was an error whilst saving your data, and then just warn error message. And we are very close to the end, but we're just going to do game.players.player removing connect, and instead of function we're going to replace the word function with an actual function. It's going to be save car data, and then game bind to close function, and then for I player in pairs game dot players get players do, and then save car data player. And while we're here, we might as well do a quick day and night cycle, which is going to be the local time. I'm going to have it as 0.001, and the local time change equals 0.001, and then while wait time do game dot lighting dot clock time, so dot clock time plus equals time change, like that. That's the day and night cycle done as well. Oh look, perfect 100. We will add more, we will add the house data as well and the missions and stuff, but for now that's all we're going to do. Okay, so now we're going to do the car dealership. Now we are going to do code the actual car in another video, probably part 2, but for now we just want something to spawn. So we're gonna have it once you have the car dealer. I won't mess with this because it's already animated, as you can see with the that wasn't me, by the way. that was Darwin. Thank you, Darwin. And so we're going to go in. So once you have this person, we're going to go into the head and add an proximity prompt. I've got an action as E to interact and the object text the card dealer. Once you have it, you can just leave it as card dealer. Now we're going to create a screen GUI, something I have already managed to do. So we're just going to take this and we're going to paste it into here. Here's the phone GUI. Some of the GUI is a bit messed up, but it's fine. So this is going to be the GUI. Obviously you can do what you want. I've had it so that we have a few scripts in here. The first one is this. So what you need to do, I will add this and then we just delete this and then I'll add it. So once you add the screen GUI, you're going to add a frame. You could just maybe set this is like 0.7, so you can see it all. So this is each one. We could probably just, I think, if it's stretch, there we go. Just make sure there's no white spaces, unless that's what you're going for, in which case that's fine. Okay, and now so we're going to add a local script into the main frame, I guess, is the variables, which are local main frame, which is script.parent, and then local apps, which you need to make a folder named apps inside the GUI, not the frame. And so it's going to be mainframe.parent.apps, or wait for child apps. And then local value equals false. So this is the value of if this is open or not, which is why we need to move this back down to, I have it at 1.2, but again, it's completely up to you. Okay, so now we're going to do the main program, which is for button in pairs, which is going to be the main frame. There we go, and then if button is a image button. I've got it as image button because I have an image on each app, but if it's just a text button, then make sure it is. So if you go to apps and then whatever these are, I have them. Oh, sorry, so this is not in apps, here. So if you do have this, and instead of image buttons you have image, if you have text buttons, and that's going to be a problem because of this, then just do if image button and not button dot name equals open button, like that, because if you have that kind of thing. But I don't need to do that because obviously I've got the image button. So here we're going to do button dot mouse button one up connect function, and then for frame in pairs we're going to do apps, and then we're going to do if frame is a image label, then frame dot visible equals false, and then apps find first child button dot name dot visible equals true. Then for exit button in pairs frame children not attributes do, and then if exit button is a text button and exit button dot name equals exit button, like I did before, then exit button dot mouse button one up connect the function frame dot visible equals false, and we're going to scroll down a bit, and this is going to be the tweening. So you don't actually have to do this, but I would if I were you. Makes the game look much nicer. Tweening and particles, I'd say, are two of the best. So script.parent.open button.mouse button 1 up, connect to function. If not value, then script.parent tween position, and then inside the brackets you're going to enter then udem2.new 0.9 0.750 then comma, and then it's going to be out, and then it's going to have a little bounce. 0.5 which is going to be the time it takes, and false, it says override. I'm not completely, so whether the tween will override in progress tween, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's also like, it means if it will redo it, I don't know, it's a bit confusing. I'll just have it as false, and then value equals true, and then else if value, then so if value, it means if value is true, then script.parent tween position udem2, scroll down a bit more, dot new 0.9, 0, 1.2, 0. Now this will be different for you if you want to have it in different places. Make sure it's capital. If you want to have it in a, if you want to have it different, like if you want to, so this is where it is when it's open, when this main frame is open, it'll be 0.75 like that, then otherwise it's 0.1, sorry, no, it's 1.2 like here. So that is obviously up to you, completely up to you. And then we're going to set the value equals false. So that will work, but we won't do any testing yet. We are just going to get through this. And it's not bad. That makes it sound like it's bad. In here you can add a local script, as you just saw. I've named it spawn car. Obviously name it what you want. Then we're going to do variables, which is equals to local replicated storage, which equals to game get service replicated storage. Make sure I spell that right. And then local remotes, which we need to add, which is going to be replicated storage.remotes, which we don't have. So let's just go to replicated storage and add in a folder named remotes, as in remote events, but remotes, and then a folder into that is equal to events, and then we'll also have functions, but we don't actually use functions. I'm not sure. There is one with like check Python, but I don't think we will use that. So inside here we're going to add in a remote event, and it's going to be called spawn car, and another one called respawn car. Easy. And then local events, which equals to remotes.events, and then local spawn car equals events wait for child spawn car, and local respawn car, which equals to events wait for child respawn car again, and also local player, which equals to game.players.local player, and then the main program, which is for I, button in pairs, script.parent do if button is a text button, then button.mouse button 1 up, connect function, then if player.cars find first child button.name.value equals true, and button.spawned.value equals false, then spawn car fire server button dot name else if button dot spawned, which again we need to add, dot value equals true, then respawn car fire server button dot name. Right, so this button dot spawned is in here. So you're going to add in, let's just make this visible for a second. Oh, it is visible. What isn't visible? This. Okay, so for this we have a text button for each car. There's only 3 cars at the moment, and they don't look like a Camaro or Challenger. They're literally Jeeps but different coloured. You can add things to Jeep, which I probably will. Okay, so starter car, Camaro, Challenger, name what you want. And so inside of each one is going to be a bool value, which is called spawned. But obviously name it what you want. If you're going to rename it, then you have to rename it here as well. Okay, then else print you don't have this car. So if you haven't spawned it and you haven't respawned it, if that makes sense. So if the value isn't equal to true and you don't have the car, then you don't have the car. And then that is actually the end of that script, so it's a bit of a small script, well not that small. Okay, so next we're going to add in a car dealership screen GUI. So just name this car dealership, preferably with no spaces. And then I'm going to actually add in all the stuff I need, except for these scripts, which I will get rid of. Okay, so this is the car dealership that I've made. Obviously you need to make it a bit smaller for the actual game, because obviously it just works, trust me. So maybe it's like 3 or whatever. But for now we want it so we can see it. Okay, so you're gonna have a. The only reason it's an image label is because I use the Roundify plugin, and it turns it into an image label and it looks very nice. So once you have whichever frame or image label, I would use image, so get a frame and then Roundify. Trust me, it looks lovely. But anyway, unless you don't want it in your game, which is fine. Once you have that, I'm going to add in a scrolling frame, an exit button, which I've just put there, you can put anywhere, and a title, which again you can put anywhere, but the top is the favourite choice. And so inside, so name that one exit button, that one title, and here, cars, inside the scrolling frame, which I've named cars, is the Camaro, the Challenger, and the starter car. This is where you buy the cars, and obviously no, they're not all 500, but trust me, I'll get to that. So starter car, we're going to add in a bool value, which is purchased, a text button, which is buy button, and a text label, which is the price label. Once you have all that, once you've customized it all, you can pause and customize it. You're going to add in a local script inside the car's scrolling frame, like here, and then we're just going to name this car purchasing, because we have the spawning thing, but unlike the old one, you can't buy and spawn it in the same place. So we're going to do local replicated storage, which equals the game guest service replicated storage, the local cars frame, which equals the script dot parent, and then local player, which equals the game dot players dot local player, and then local cars, which equals to replicated storage dot cars, local remotes equals replicated storage dot remotes, local functions, which obviously we don't really need, we'll just do events for now, equals remotes dot events. And here I'm actually adding in a module script. Now believe me, it sounds more complicated than it actually is. It's actually not that bad. If you go to Brookhaven storage and add in a module script, they're actually quite helpful. This is going to be called car shop info, and just rename it like that. So what I have inside each one is, if you go in between the fancy brackets, put in the square brackets. So just go into there, no, don't type anything, press enter, and then do square brackets, and then do starter car, no space sign, and then obviously whatever car you've called it, and then we're going to do another fancy brackets, and then square brackets money, which equals to 250. Obviously you can change it, might have it as 100, I'll tell you why later. And then the Camaro equals money, which equals to 1,000 maybe, we might do 500 for now. We want people to work for their car and for their money, which, speaking of money, we will do a job in this video. So the Challenger, which equals to money, equals to, we'll do 1,500, because this one is actually quite a fast car. You don't have to have a semicolon, I'm going to have it a semicolon because I'll probably add more cars in the future. So, once you've named that car shop info or whatever you want, you're going to do local car shop info equals to require, which we haven't, I think maybe we have done before, require replicated storage dot car shop info, which is module script, which you have to do with module scripts, you have to do require because you want to go inside the script. Okay. So the main program is going to be for I frame in pairs cars frame, and we're going to do if frame is a image label, which is what I have them as, and then for I price text in pairs frame, and then do if price text is a text label and price text dot name equals price label. You've got to get that spelling extremely accurate. Then price text dot text equals, I'm doing this symbol because I'm from the UK, but obviously if you want to do that symbol, I don't know, whatever symbols there are, but yeah, obviously feel free. And then do car shop info. Now here we're going to do frame dot name dot money, and then for I button in pairs frame again, then if button is a text button, then button dot mouse button one up, connect to function, and then we're going to do local price equals car shop info frame dot name dot money, and then we're going to do if player dot cars find first child frame dot name dot value equals false, then events dot buy car, oh so that's another event we need to add, called buy car. So events dot buy car fire server frame dot name and then price. And that's the end of that script. Okay, that's good. Now we're going to add in another big script, which is going to be in the server script service. So obviously this one I forgot to name. Let's go to it. This is the data manager, and we're going to add in another script, and this is going to be the remote handler. So we're going to do the variables, which is going to be local replicated storage, which equals the game get service replicated storage, and then local remotes, which equals replicated storage dot remotes, local events, which equals to remotes dot events, and local, actually again local functions we don't need. Locals. Now here are all the events we need. On another world I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which we might actually just need 6. So yeah, that's a lot. So first one, events, wait for child, spawn car. But some of these are to do with houses, which we'll do as I said in the next one. So local respawn car, which equals to events, wait for child, respawn car. Local buy car, which equals to events, wait for child, buy car. And actually that'll be fine for now. We'll use the rest later. We've got missions on there, we've got cars, no, so houses, which we're doing the cars now. Okay, so first things, main program, which is going to be buy car dot on server event, connect function, player, name of car and the price, if player dot cars find first child name of car dot value equals true, then print you already have this car, else if player dot cars find first child name of car dot value equals false, and player dot leader stats dot money dot value is bigger or equal to price, the price that we set, then player dot cars find first child name of car dot value equals true. And then obviously we need to take away their money because they just bought the car. So money dot value minus equals price, or I think that's just the best way of doing it. If you really want to do it the old way, it is the same as equals player dot leader stats dot the value minus price. So this is just a quick way of doing it. Okay, so now we're going to do spawn car dot on server event, connect function. I'm sorry if this is a long video. The reason I'm doing it as a long video is because we have a lot to go through, and I'm going to hopefully upload it as a game to the public, to you guys. And the quicker we do that, the quicker I can do streams on updating the game, which I think could be quite fun. So if you wanna see that, make sure to go into the description where I will probably link the game. So that would be hopefully good. And so here we go. Yeah, this is all. Thank you to you guys. Since I hit 1,000 subscribers, I really wanted to celebrate, and I wanted to thank you guys by giving you a brand new series, a revamped Brookhaven since the old one. A lot of the videos had to be muted because of copyright reasons and stuff, so this is just a perfect time to do it. So this equals player.name, then car, then car destroyed, trust me. This is just going to get rid of any other car that exists in the workplace. Okay, so we're going to go down to these two ends at the end of the for line, like for loop. we're going to do local car equals replicated storage dot cars, find first child, name of car, clone, and then car dot name equals player dot character dot name is car, and then car dot parent equals game dot workspace, and then car move to player dot character dot primary part dot position plus vector3 dot new 0 0 10. So that is the Z axis, I believe. Yes. So the Y, for some reason, I don't think this is how it is, and I think Z is actually the height in normal. But in Roblox, the middle is the height, Y. So if you want to have it spawn above you or below you, then you've got to mess with that one. Okay, and then player dot player GUI dot phone GUI dot apps dot cars dot cars, find first child, name of car dot spawned dot value equals true. Okay, and we actually have one more, but this is respawning the car. So respawn car dot onset event connect function player name of car local car equals game dot workspace find first child player dot character dot name and then car. So like Tveria Titanic Boy's car, Tom builds car, it depends. And then local cloned car equals replicated storage dot cars find first child name of car clone, and then for I car in pairs game dot workspace. Okay, if car then is a model, not mouse, is a model, and car dot name equals player dot name car, then car destroy, and then down here we're going to wait 0.5 seconds, and then cloned car dot parent equals game dot workspace, then clone car dot name equals player dot character dot names car, and then clone car move to player dot character dot primary part dot position plus vector3 dot new 0 0 10. Okay, that should hopefully work. And I think to test we'll do that. So if you go to file, I believe it's game settings, you need to go to security and allow enable, so such as data stores server, such as data stores. There we go. And so we're going to test this. So first we have to go to phone and make sure everything's probably know where it should be. Which reminds me, we should probably go to here, add a local script, and then just name this GUI handler, and then just set these variables, which is local prompt equals to game.workspace.cardDealer.head.proximity prompt. So I said don't change it, just so you know what it is, unless you remember, which is fine. Then local GUI script.parent, and then the main program, which is prompt.triggered connect function GUI.enable equals not GUI.enabled, and then GUI.mainFrame.exitButton.activated connect function GUI.enabled equals not GUI.enabled. Awesome, we're just going to cancel off that. Okay, before we test, we do need to actually add in the cars. which we are going to do in next thing, but I'm just going to add in one naming starter car, and we're going to add in a part, a singular part, and just to make sure we notice it, cyan, neon, 555, there we go. Just have it anchored like that. Okay, so as you can see we've got the phone GUI, and we go to cars, but obviously we don't have any of these cars because, well, we need to buy them first. So car dealer, need to interact. So all of these we actually can't afford, but as you can see, 100, 500, 1500. Okay, so I don't have any money, but thank goodness there's this proximity prompt here, and I think I interact. Oh, it just gives me money like just like that. Quite helpful actually. Thank you, newspaper stand. I'll have to get rid of that. Or will I? Maybe I'll just move it, you know? Okay, so car dealer. We're going to go here, so we need to buy this starter car. And we have the starter car. So I believe we go now to phone, and starter car, and it spawns, as you can see. But this is not the car. And that's not an efficient way of getting money using magic. However awesome it is, I think we should solve both of those problems. So first we have to get rid of this before I, accidentally forget to get rid of it and give away thousands of money. Next thing we're going to do is the pizza, which is here. You're going to have a part, a pizza. I'm going to leave this pizza. Actually, I'm gonna leave this pizza in the description, because a lot of people have been asking how I make the pizza. Here you go. This is the pizza. I'll put it in the description. This is what Darwin has made, especially like the decor or whatever. And so yeah, so this is Darwin's island, so thank you for letting me use it. And so yeah, I'm going to so make sure you add in a proximity prompt. I've got take food, and then you've got to go into, and you've got to add in a script. So add in a script, and we're just going to do script.parent.triggered connect function player, and then local arrow event, which is another thing we need to do, which is going to be game.remotes.events, and then so forth, where we add in the arrow event, and then local customers, which is actually a new thing I'm going to do, in.replicated storage.customers, which means we need to add in a folder named customers. So dot customers, and I'm going to show it like that. And then we're going to do local random customer, which equals to customers, square brackets, math.random, then 1 out of a number of customers. Random customer clone.parent equals game.workspace, then arrow event fire client player game.workspace.customer, obviously, yeah, there's no one there, but customer dot upper torso true, and then game dot workspace dot customer again, set attribute delivery person player dot name. Okay. Now there are a few things wrong with the script based on like depending on how many there are and if it's in a public game and stuff. I will fix that, don't worry. But for now, it works, and the main thing is we need to add in some customers. So we're just going to take these customers from a different world, and we're going to put them, first we're going to put them into here, and then get them, and we're going to actually put them into replicate storage, into the customers, so it chooses one of random, and just, yeah, as you do. And this piece box we can just close like that. And I think just before we test that out, first we obviously need to go to the customer, go into the add an proximity prompt and a script, and you're just going to write out this. We're getting, well, like, this video is becoming extremely long, and so I thought I'd just let you guys write this one out for yourself. Like, so without me explaining, there you go. Just pause and write it down. And so now obviously the current mission, that is for a different video, so I'll be doing missions as well. So that will be that for now. And just before we go, I thought it'd be just so we can test, and so it makes it a bit easier. And so first we actually need to add in, of course, I almost forgot, don't I, almost. I need to add in a local script into here. I don't know how I'm supposed to add things, because I don't see a plus, I don't know, it's a bit broken. Insert an object, it's going to be a local script, and inside of here is going to be a beam. The beam is that I'm actually going to copy and paste from here. It's going to copy, and there we go, paste. So these are the properties. You can copy them down, including the texture if you want, and I think that works, I'm not sure. And then the variables, which is going to be the local player, equal to game.players.local player, and then local character equal to player.character or player.character added weight, and then local humanoid root part, or HR thing, and then character wave child humanoid root part, and then local beam equals script wave child beam and clone. Then functions, and then local function create beam attachment 0 part, and then local attachment 1 equals part find first child delivery attachment, and then if attachment 1, then beam dot attachment 0 equals attachment 0, and then beam dot attachment 1 equals attachment 1. Awesome. And now here we're going to do the main program, which is going to be the arrow event, which is on client event. So the game replicate storage .emotes.events .arrow event on client event connect to function part and value, and then if value equals true, then local attachment 0 equals humanoid root part find first child root rig attachment create beam attachment 0 and part, and then beam parent equals character else beam remove. And just before we finish up there, we're going to name this arrow event, and we are going to add in, actually I think the shift to sprint we'll do in another video, and so for now we'll just test this out. Okay, so if the script does work, we can go to phone and we can spawn this. Yep, okay. Not that it will really help us because it's actually not a car, if you can see. So we're going to go to Donald's Pizza, which there are some lovely, okay, unanchored but very cool posters. I managed to anchor this one. Okay, so food, we're going to take the food. And now we need to go over here. It has chosen one randomly out of the folder. And this is the one that it's landed on. Sometimes it does do the same one over and over again. That's why I would add in more than 3. But game info, oh yeah, of course we need another module script. But that's fine, we're going to go to Brookhaven storage, add in a module script. It's going to be called game info. And I want it to hold most of the game info, so at one point I might actually add in everything. So just into one mod script, because that would just make sense, I think. But for now, we're going to do the jobs. That means there's going to be more than one job. But for now, just the delivery person, which equals money, like how much money you get, which it's going to give 5. Yeah, so I do have plans, so I'm going to have jobs, then all the car prices, car speeds maybe, you know, that kind of thing. I want everything into one, because that would just make sense in my eyes. Okay, so we're going to deliver to the customer, and we do get money. Obviously, current mission is not, we haven't done that yet, but no, that's fine. Okay, so now we'll just go with this script here, and now let's make a car.